and shorts, and surf, and scuba, and sand, and sailing, and soccer. San Diego, California.
Greetings and welcome to 215th episode of Two Balls and a Mic. On a Monday, we are coming back. Season greetings to all. Football is the website. Check it out. Make sure you follow on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Been working on those TikToks, Shiva. And we have the number one soccer coverage in San Diego, as proven by this last week. We're going to go ahead and get down to it. Snapdragon was an absolute water wonderland or water nightmare, depending on who you ask. That happened. Brazil, Mexico, U.S., Canada semifinals that led into the final of Brazil versus the U.S. on Sunday. Estados Unidos, the USA, wins the first inaugural. I think first and inaugural is redundant. Redundantly redundant. The inaugural Women's Gold Cup 1-0. We're going to get down to it. You and Abraham were there. Abraham, obviously, the boy, who's going to catch him off guard by putting him on. He's not paying attention. Look at that. Right there.
There he is.
There he goes. We're also going to go ahead and break down a call with the Sirens. Call the Sirens is back. We're going to check in with a member of the San Diego Sirens supporter group from San Diego Wave, who started the Challenge Cup against Gotham this Friday. We're going to get down into it. Does it really matter what the formation is going to look like? Is it important? Is it not important? We're going to get into that as well. We have Duran watch. We had the number one first ever signing for San Diego FC, Duran Ferree, on an interview for the first time on Two Balls and a Mic, San Diego Football. And we're going to talk to him about what it was like training with FC Northland, training with Orange County. La Cancioncita is over and it's restarting and it's okay. And I'll pause it because that's fine. That's a-okay. We're going to talk to him. Some interesting things that happened with his team as I ended abruptly.
I don't think Duran's ever going to play. Or OC.
Yeah, he'll get time. Don't worry about that. But we'll get into all of that during our SDFC segment. The Chrome Ball Tour being announced, new artwork dropping. Interesting times that we're living here in San Diego. And of course, El Juego Bonito.
It was an interesting week in San Diego.
Goals, gaffes, and greats. Too much soccer, some would say.
Okay, no, you can't say too much soccer when we hadn't had soccer in months.
I'm tired.
Oh, but I'm not. That's what happens when you sell out, right, Abraham?
I'm tired. Let's refer to the people on screen, please.
See. Anyways, so yeah, Wednesday we were at Snapdragon Stadium for the semifinal of the Women's Gold Cup. We had Mexico versus Brazil for the 4 p.m. game, and the 7:15 game was going to be the U.S. against Canada. That's going to be the San Diego Wave family reunion again. 4 waves against Caitlin Sheridan. But the first game was Mexico against Brazil, and I think everyone had the hope, right? Let's bring Abraham in. There's Abraham. What's up, man?
What's up? How you guys doing?
Pretty good. I mean, we were all there on Wednesday, right, against Mexico versus Brazil, and you can tell some of the people were like, oh, it'd be so cool if Mexico does pull this off and faces maybe against the U.S. Abraham, I don't know, what were your thoughts? Your prediction was Brazil to advance.
Yeah, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I got close to every prediction result-wise. Correct.
That sounds like tooting your own
horn.
That
is tooting your own horn.
But you know what? We'll allow it because you were right.
Yeah, I mean, I was right. And that Mexico-Brazil game, I thought it might be a little bit closer, but Brazil really just did outclass Mexico on a lot of levels. And that red card definitely didn't help Mexico in that 27th minute, I think. But either way, I think even the Brazil coach said it. Like, they had already scored. They were already pressing high. They were likely going to score again. Brazil was just the better team that day. And Mexico had a great tournament, but Brazil is one of the best teams in the world and can't really stop that.
Yeah, and so you felt like there was a impending victory for Brazil because they were the better team throughout the tournament. They did struggle against Puerto Rico a little bit, but I think that's more of them playing down to the competition and Puerto Rico playing better than anybody thought. But overall, the game starts and you kind of felt that in a way, and Brazil get one early. With that, they are able to. Let me see if I can do that. Can I do that? Yes, I can. And then add me here. Wow, look at that. Yeah, no, like they were able to really start putting that foot on the pedal. And for the most part, what I will say for the entire game, we'll talk about what happened here in a bit. Mexico fought well. Like they fought well with what they could and never really gave up. But then a rather controversial call.
On la madre.
You guys didn't see that was a giant mosquito, and it's okay. We're pacifists here. Yeah, so there was a red card situation here in the 21st minute, and we'll just kind of let things play here. Great commentary in Spanish, even in Spanish. So much better already.
On ESPN Deportes, I think, right?
Yeah. Well, this wasn't the error. Well, that was one of them. El gol cantado, a mistake, and that was kind of like the what's that precedent later on for this. So later on, what did end up happening was, unfortunately, and I think this is what ruined the game, and not necessarily ruined it for a bad call. It just kind of ruined the flow of the game because it's very hard to come back from something like a red card. And so eventually that ended up happening here in the 28th minute, just a couple of minutes after the VAR call is being shown the review. What did you guys think as soon as that got called?
Yeah, so at first it got called as a possible penalty.
Mm-hmm.
So then they thought, okay, no, this is way outside the box. It's a possible foul. And because it was a last and this guy.
Certainly surprised.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
just kind of cut off there. No, you're good. Abe, you're fine. It was me. I know it cut off there, but you were surprised, Shiva, that this was even called because it was. Yes, I got you, Esteban. We're good now, right? We're good, Esteban. Estamos bien. We're good, Esteban. Good. Boom. Can you hear us, Abe? We're good.
Yeah, I was trying to tell you guys that.
Yeah, that's what the private chat's for. We're using this new platform. Got to make sure we utilize it correctly.
Yeah.
So Abraham, did you think it was a penalty out the gate?
I wouldn't call it a penalty. I definitely think that a card should have been given. I mean, it's just that one-on-one opportunity, and taking away the opportunity from the Brazilian forward, it's really tough. And I mean, if the call was called on the field, no VAR check, I think I told you guys, it would have probably just been a yellow card because it wasn't too harsh of a foul. But when you have to go to VAR like that and it's a pretty obvious goal-scoring opportunity, you kind of have to give it a red there. And I mean, eventually they just managed to tack on another one in the next 5 minutes when they had already kind of taken advantage of Mexico's disorganization there. And I mean, like you said, it's hard to come back from a moment like that.
And that's the thing too, because I, as a opponent, not a proponent, an opponent of this notion that VAR is going to be the savior of all things. VAR is going to be what's going to come in and they're really going to go ahead and solve every issue that referees have ever had. That's not the case. But the rule's the rule. They reviewed it for a possible penalty. You review that play, it's not a penalty. That gets ruled out. However, in doing that review, you then stumble upon a foul that's worthy of a red card. Then you have to give that. So it's almost a backwards way of doing a red card situation. And I think it was you, Abraham, or somebody in the press box mentioned it, that if the referee had called that initially in the run of play, it would have been a yellow card maximum. So I think that right there is kind of, the razor's edge where you can either lean one way. Was it a yellow card offense? No, it's a red card because she was the last offender. But then you don't get that situation without reviewing mistakenly for something. Um, Either way, I think I stick with it. It ruined the game just because then Mexico had to really kind of take that step back, make the substitutions,
And you're
and
not a
try their
believer of
best.
that.
And
You're not, yeah.
against Brazil, like, oof.
But at the end of the day, Brazil ended up dominating that game, man. They shown to be one of the best teams this tournament had to offer. Granted, it's a CONMEBOL team being invited by CONCACAF, right? And that just happens in the men's Gold Cup too. Before when they would get invited, Brazil has won the Gold Cup.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
leave it to CONMEBOL to still rule in the CONCACAF. But after this, in the second half, we got a slight bit of rain. And then it started pouring.
Oh, the slight.
Started pouring harder.
So we knew everybody in San Diego knew that this was going to happen. There was going to be rain. There was going to be questions as far as what the attendance is going to be at Snapdragon. Is San Diego going to come out? It's the U.S. women's national team. Like, we've seen up to or at least 600 people for one of these Gold Cup games.
Yeah.
So, it was going to be interesting to see what the response was because San Diego is not necessarily known for having that sort of rain. It's in like Forrest Gump. You ever watch Forrest Gump, guys? You watch Forrest Gump, babe?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So when he's in Vietnam and he's walking and he's writing to Jenny, like, it was raining this, it was even raining sideways. Like, it was raining sideways.
Yeah, it was.
The
heavens
sideways
open.
into the press box.
Into the press box.
We love sitting in the front row of the press box, except when it's raining.
The one time it rains. Well, now we know, right? But it's okay. We braved the elements, but so did half of the people there, and they stayed there in their seats at all times. So this torrential downpour starts, and it's bad news.
Did anyone that was there as a fan, those ponchos, were they giving out for free or were they selling those?
So
I hope they were giving those for free.
From what I heard, the Get Services was giving out ponchos for free, and then at one point, some workers from the inside walked out with trash bags and kind of just left them out there, and people ran and grabbed as many as they could and were kind of passing them around. My cousin was there. She loves the U.S. women's national team. She's always trying to go to those games, and she told me she did not have the best time with the rain. I mean, just pouring like that could not have been fun to just sit out there and I mean, she didn't even have anything prepared for it, and I think a lot of fans were kind of like that, where it was sunny in the beginning of the day, so you're not even like thinking about rain, and then all of a sudden it's just a downpour, unlike anything we've seen at Snapdragon.
And so that's what you get: flash floods. If you live in Mission Valley, you know what's happening. If you live in that area, it's nothing new, right? These saturation of rain is compiling, and as we showed there a little bit, was those patches of puddles, and that creates a unique situation. And some people who don't really frequent soccer games, who were covering the match that day, come out and they're asking us like, "Hey, is this even safe to start? Is this even this?"
People were really upset in the press box too.
I mean,
people were upset about this game still happening, and I'm a strong believer, guys, that unless there's lightning and thunder, the game should not be postponed. Like, I've seen games played like this. There's been games in the snow, and I love that the game still played on.
Yeah, because even in the snow, right, the ball still sort of moves, and if it doesn't, that's when the referee will stop. And we saw the referee do it a couple times. She threw the ball in front of her to see if it would roll. It would or it wouldn't.
It would in a larger part of the stadium on the field. I think if it comes to the point where the ball just doesn't roll any part of the field, then yeah, you're gonna have to postpone. But it would roll, and then you got some halftime entertainment too.
Yeah, but I think the ball wasn't rolling. A large majority of the stadium on the left wing nearest to us, I think the ball wasn't rolling at all. And the referee doing the motion in front of the match day official was like proof to me, at least, that the referee wanted to cancel the match. Technically, according to the rules, the referee is the sole decider according to CONCACAF, but the referee obviously went to a match day official on the side in front of the fourth official right there, trying to roll the ball, trying to tell her, because she did motion. I did watch later, and she motioned to both captains like, "Hold on, I'm gonna go talk to someone." She went to go talk to them, and they didn't have an answer for her. She just said, "Play on." Lindsey Horan was obviously pretty upset, and then I think I saw Alex Morgan kind of tell her, "Hey, like, let's just keep playing." And I mean, they kind of had to keep paying, but to me personally, I think that's just a injury concern. It's not fun to watch for the fans either. I don't know what the decision is. Like, maybe just wait it out, delay the game till a little bit later. I mean, that's something I personally would have liked to see, but
Yeah. But what do you do, Abe? Because it kept on raining. If you move any type of time forward, looking at how that game ended up being, the penalty shootout right after it started pouring again. So you're kind of in that situation where it's like, how far away do you do that? And when people again were saying in the press, like, "Oh, this should be canceled," or why don't they do this? I turned around and I said, if this was the men's Gold Cup, would this game be postponed? I don't think so.
So an MLS game actually did get postponed this
I saw that
weekend.
Yes, Philadelphia.
Philadelphia game got postponed. Their field looked pretty similar to how Snapdragon field. I saw a video of those groundskeepers doing the same exact thing that the Snapdragon groundskeepers were doing, and like they didn't have much success either. But luckily for them, it's MLS regular season. They're able to delay the game. It's not a tournament setting, so I'm sure that comes into the decision as well. But the precedent of a men's, I personally don't like that comparison. It's just the ball wasn't moving. I think they shouldn't have played during that time, because second half was a lot better. The second half did look a little bit more like soccer, and it was fun to watch at least.
Yeah, Talking Friars. Shout out Talking Friars. Some of the best coverage here of San Diego Padres. It was funny sitting there at first, seeing them not being able to pass that much, but then we were just worried about injuries. And Casey Stoney also chimed in about that, and I get that 1,000% player safety at all times. If it does get to that point, but again,
I don't think it was there.
It was gonna be played. Like, at the end of the day, if it was gonna be played, then there has to be a winner. You have to go with what you have. And you're just looking at this kind of like right there, like you can see
the puddles.
Those puddles.
It's CONCACAF,
massive lakes almost.
Guys, we're forgetting that it's CONCACAF. The budget was not that big for this tournament. We know Snapdragon is not cheap to rent. We've heard it from Tom Penn for SDFC. Snapdragon is not a cheap stadium to rent out. You're not going to postpone a semifinal. You're not going to do it for the next day. You're not going to pay more. You're going to stick to the schedule you have. And that's just what CONCACAF does. And I mean, this guy named us, you got CONCACAF. Shout out to John Arnold for starting that, right?
Yeah.
But that's exactly what happened in San Diego on that Wednesday night.
But man, like, I'll just say, from a rudimentary soccer person playing in the rain and even in these puddles, yeah, it's frustrating, but it's some of the best fun you ever
It's
have.
fun.
It's some of the best fun you ever
I mean,
have.
Jaden Shaw said after the game, like, it was just comedy.
Yeah, and that's what it is. You don't want something that's actually going to be worth silverware or just decide the
to be labeled as comedy.
Direction of something like that, to be, to not be played on a fair ground. But again, much like Steve Cherundolo from LAFC got fined $10,000 for saying this game shouldn't have been played. Both teams played on the same pitch. Both teams, it's literally as level as a playing field as you can get. And within the circumstances, one team was a little bit more concentrated. One team adapted better earlier, I believe. And I think that's kind of something that ended up just being literally the decider. The second half, we saw a little bit more tactics, but it's unfortunate the way that it happened too. After the game, Caitlin Sheridan, goalkeeper San Diego Wave in Canada, was upset, and she didn't want to talk, obviously, because of this. Like, that's what you kind of open yourself up to. A back pass gets stopped in the slosh. Jaden Shaw comes in, poaches it, picks it off, and it's an easy goal. Easy goal for her.
Yeah.
Abraham, I think you mentioned that the one disappointing thing that you had was what?
Oh yeah, Jaden Shaw. Why did you not do the surfing celebration there? I mean, you have puddles literally on that side of the field. That is the only time that you have that opportunity. That was huge mistake on
She's
Shaw's
not
part.
ripping the wave right now.
She's the United States of waves. But okay, so in this situation, right, like we can all say, well, obviously you don't pass it back because you've seen a couple of minutes of this action where the ball's
Naomi
stopping.
Girma told us the same thing
Naomi
after.
Grumma told us exactly that. Is
We
that
knew we weren't gonna be able to pass back.
just clear it?
Yeah.
Just clear it. And does that make for pretty soccer? No, it doesn't.
Granted, the way she positioned herself on that pass, like she kind of set herself up for failure. You're in a position where you have to kick it with your left. You're not gonna kick it out. It's gonna be a hard clearance from that angle, but that poor defender, she did the worst, absolutely worst thing you could do, and was to pass it back. And Jaden Shaw told us, sorry about that. Jaden Shaw told us, like, I saw the back pass and I knew it was going to get stuck in a puddle. We saw Trinity Rotman getting so frustrated because she had a couple one-on-ones that the ball just ended up getting in the puddle. And it is frustrating when that happens. But again, both teams had to do the same thing. Granted, that half that the U.S. had to attack in the first half was way better condition for Canada in the second half.
All thanks. And I'll let you go next day. All thanks to, honestly, and this is where things get interesting, right? So our sources from Snapdragon, some of the people are in charge of trying to fix this. They told me that they had no idea they had 5 shovels in the stadium. Even they had no idea that there were measures for this, that this was even a possibility. And all kudos to CONCACAF. They put the play in general was good. That the tournament was great. Hopefully it succeeds for years, but it's going to be very difficult to top this halftime show.
Wow.
It's Coldplay.
Mexico has stopped that.
I mean, how can you look at that? Just the technique, the light show, people hiding. But it's like, what do you do? What do you do at that point where it's literally just 5 individuals? You see 3 here, just squeegeeing the field. There's nothing to possibly do. Did it help a little bit?
Run through it. I feel like you'd be more successful doing that.
Next time it rains, we'll get
down
down
we'll
there.
give them a shout out. Yeah, we'll jump out there. Just have the media do it. I think, was it you, Abraham, that said just let the fans in and do it?
Yeah, that could have, but no, that would never happen. The field was not fun to watch. But every player, every coach, when asked the question, they said, "Yeah, we probably shouldn't have played." And but they also did say exactly what you guys are saying, that we still had to play. It wasn't our decision. It's a big game. We have to play this game. We're gonna play this game. We're not gonna use the tactics that we had to start the game, which is unfortunate because it would have been probably a really good matchup. But we saw just trying to clear the ball forward, trying to move the ball forward. That's all the tactics were, really. It's just let's move the ball forward and then hope we can have them make a mistake.
Everything went out the window. Then just the second half again on a futbolisticamente, in a soccer sense, it was better. You did get more action. You did get a rally from Canada. Last minute execution of the VAR gave Canada a chance to tie it up at the death, literally at the death, because of a I don't know. It was definitely a red card. Excuse me, a foul. It was definitely a penalty. Just the contact happening there. You see the replay.
I mean, Tony, you're the goalie. I know you love to defend your goalies, but she punches this forward in the face. That feels like a red card to me. Like,
I agree. That should have been a red card. And at that point, you were out of substitutions. What player from the U.S. women's national team would you have put on goal for the penalty shootout?
I think who's somebody stepped in there before as a goalkeeper.
I mean, whoever
not in the U.S. team, but there's what outdoor players get on there. No, I'm okay with it. Like, it's a foul, 100%. At least touch the ball. Like, if you go through a player with your fist, at least touch the ball, and then you can argue if it is or it isn't. From Villain giving up this penalty, tying it up, 120th minute with 6 minutes added. Everybody's tired at this point. and it's not a give me at all. Ball rolls in. I was waiting for it to stop. At the line. Just on some truly CONCACAF stuff.
That would be crazy,
Um,
actually.
But eventually, just from villain to hero, and I love these stories. The moment that I saw
Nair. Yeah,
Nair, sir?
Listen there.
Yeah.
Nair. You're just working on the pronunciation. I was like,
my
I turned into
English
Chiba for a
sucks.
second.
Also,
like, what?
Before
Yes.
we wrap up on the penalty, I did ask her about it because in the mixed zone after they asked her, "Did you think it was penalty?" She said she hasn't rewatched the footage, so she wasn't sure. I asked her the next day in the media match day -1, and all she had to say was, "Well, the ref called it a penalty, so it was a penalty," which to me sounds kind of like an admission of guilt, but.
It's a respect to the refereeing position and all refereeing kind.
It's funny because Tony always says that. Oh, it was a penalty. The ref called it.
I agree. It's a blue card.
Soon in the outdoor game.
Hopefully not. I agree. Paid the fans to come in and shovel some water. But again, there's only 5 of those shovels in the entirety of Snapdragon. The entirety of Snapdragon only has.
You think
5
they're going
shovels.
to start investing more?
No, because why would they? Because okay, let's invest in some I don't know, better facilities, better drainage, better coverage, better. What I will say, if you go down to Home Depot,
SDSU you're talking about.
Honestly, if you go to Home Depot and get yourself some of our primos, I think they would have got that done immediately. Now that I think about it, like, hey, go down to Lowe's. I don't see any people at Lowe's. Home Depot, home of A plus theme song, little jingle.
Yeah.
The Home Depot. Have you ever heard the Home Depot jingle? I just asked if you heard it, and I didn't ask you to do it, but that was pretty good, huh? But yeah, all right.
Terrible.
It was in my head. It sounds better. I have headphones on right now. I don't know. This is all out of my brain.
You're too nice.
Yeah, you're too nice for us. Abe, you're a pure soul. All right, so Nair comes up, steps up, and I was like, oh, they won. If she buries it, it's
after
over.
Blocking one already.
It's just the heroics come after, and a decent penalty, very good in La Esquina. Nothing for Sheridan to do on that one. Was never going to get there. Honestly, a goalkeeper's dream. Like, it's the goalkeeper's nightmare and a goalkeeper's dream all in one game. And here she is again. She's going to go ahead and let that one in. Horan scoring. Horan, I think, an unspoken hero. I mean, she did score the game winner in the championship game, but she did a lot. There's this Jaden Shaw talk and everything.
She did what a captain's supposed to do.
Absolutely. And that right there was it.
Granted,
villain to hero.
Granted, these penalties that Canada took were awful. Yeah. They were not positioned the best. They were terrible shots that, as long as you dive to the right side, you're going to block it.
Level playing field.
Yeah.
Penalty spot.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm not saying that the U.S. shot their penalties 100%
very
well, considering that Kaylin Sheridan was probably the better goalkeeper on that field.
Kaylin Sheridan.
Maybe a little biased there with Wave, but
Kaylin Sheridan.
I mean, Quinn. Shout out to Quinn for that goal, though. Their kick was probably the best kick in the penalties, and I mean, the U.S. Like, Kaylin Sheridan couldn't really stop any of those. Those were all good shots. Sophia Smith had a good shot. Listener had a good shot. Like, you really can't do much there.
100%. And then, that was the wrap for the semifinals, and we had ourselves a final. Brazil versus the United States.
So, all right, I was obviously
busy working.
Big.
You had to clock
big
in.
Important stuff at the San Diego Soccer's Hispanic Heritage Day.
Via la raza.
San Diego.
Hey, dude, you call us raza, fellow raza, Sela? That's messed up.
Yeah, you can't do
Get
that,
your bread up, my boy. That's what the kids call it nowadays, right?
Yep. But yeah, so there was a championship game leading up to it. There was just a lot of confidence coming from the U.S. side. Abe, you got to cover some of it. What sense did you get from what you saw?
From the day before, I think it was a lot of confidence, but also respect. I mean, the Brazilian team has been the best in the whole world, and they got farther than the U.S. did in the World Cup, and saw good individual play and basically saw exactly what we were gonna expect. Like they high pressed, they were the more talented team in the first half, and like I really couldn't have asked. You couldn't have asked for better from Brazil in that first half.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I mean, it all started on Sunday with Abraham picking me up, guys. Picked me up. We carpooled over to Snapdragon Stadium 2 hours before match time to avoid any traffic. We heard almost 30,000 tickets were sold. And we said, you know what? Let's beat the traffic. Let's get there early. We pull up. Not once in my, 2 balls into my career, media at Snapdragon, have I ever made line to get into the stadium through the media gate. It happened that they changed the time on us and there was a long line. But anyways, we got in. We got our guac and chips that they've been serving us all tournament long. And, we started talking to people. It was fun. A lot of different people showing up to this final that hadn't made an appearance at all in the tournament. But the game was about to start in Abraham. We saw the starting 11, and there was one key player not in there. Jaden Shaw. And we were all talking and like, okay, is she injured? She did come out early. Is it a strategy? Is it just not trusting the youngsters? I don't know. Like at first, at the end, Twilight gave us her response. But at first, what were you thinking? You saw no Jaden Shaw. What was the first thought you had?
Yeah, I mean, first thought is always injury, especially when you have a player that is as dominant as she was in the tournament. But I mean, you asked Twilight after the game why she did that, and I think her reasoning did make sense. That like, if you know what Brazil is gonna do, which is high press, commit a lot of numbers to the front, that you might not need one of your faster, experienced attackers in the starting 11 if you need a defender with Rose Lavelle, who was coming back to defend, and she is pretty good on all sides of the ball. And if you would rather have a Rose Lavelle in there than a Jaden Shaw in that moment, then I guess that makes sense. And it did work out. I mean, you let Brazil high press and take shots, but they never really got a good shot off inside of the box, which is something that I'm sure the U.S. is proud of. That Brazil
And
had to take.
that's due to Naomi Girma's defending too, and a solid backline that they already had, right? And that's due to that great defending. But then the midfield looked very lost in that first half. The attack wasn't really doing anything. Alex Morgan, Rose Lavelle, Trinity Rodman was the one kind of trying to take one-on-ones, but then it wasn't a pretty first half for the U.S. I mean, Brazil had the most chances, nothing too dangerous, of course, but then just one play, and it's taking advantage of those opportunities, right? And Trinity Rodman holds the ball, passes it to who was it? Fox?
Yeah, it was
That crossed it.
well. I think So Rodman got the ball. She waited a bit of like I was thinking like pass the ball, move the ball already, but she
Yeah.
waited for the team to come down the pitch, which was the right decision. Got the pass to Emily Fox, who was wide open. Fox got off a perfect cross to the outside where Alex Morgan was, and you think, oh, Alex Morgan's gonna get this header, but Alex said she heard Lindsey Horan run from behind her, tell her leave it, leave it, leave it. So she kind of moved forward, did a little push to the defender just to make sure she couldn't get up and head the ball, and then Lindsey Horan made that amazing header to score and take the 1-0 lead, which would stick through the whole game.
Yeah, no, and I mean, that's like when you hear your player say, it's mine, as an attacker, whatever, you hear that from your team. You're not going to think it's the other team, it's Brazil. They're not going to say, it's mine.
In there, hey, it's mine, it's mine.
She didn't start either.
No,
so.
and actually to that, Abraham, no, I did see that Lindsey Horan actually said that Morgan should have gotten an assist for an assist for that exact reason, for being able to recognize when to leave it, right? You see right there, Morgan didn't even jump. She knew that.
Shoulder there. That's like a sneaky little move, but like definitely worked perfectly for them.
And that's the experience that Alex Morgan has. And I mean, that's why you called her after the Mia Fisher injury. Other than that, you don't have another 9. And Abraham, we were talking about that, right? You don't have any other 9 other than Mia Fisher and Alex Morgan.
I mean, Olivia Moultrie is there, but she only got one start this tournament, and she's got a brace in that game. But it's still a really young player, and I'm sure in training they decided to err on the side of caution with Alex Morgan, and Alex Morgan probably gonna end up in the Olympics too because she is still one of the best attackers in the world. And I mean, we're all wondering like, oh, the FIFA Pro 11, like, is it really her? Should she really be getting that? But like, she kind of proved it. She was one of the best
Oh,
players
okay.
on.
Wait. That's
Well,
a little
I don't.
stretch.
Maybe not the best 11, but she deserves a spot on this national team, and she still deserves to be called one of the best players in the world. And I mean, I'm not trying to retire her like Abby Dahlkemper, but like
Okay.
she's still there. She
You played
like
one game.
yeah. Abby Dahlkemper had an okay game against Mexico. She was the lone defender that was doing stuff in that game, but I
You
think
mean the
Alex
one we
Morgan.
lost?
Yeah, the game they lost. She had a goal line clearance. It was almost 3-0. She saved a goal there.
Yeah. Great job.
Sorry.
Not
No, I hate on Abby Dahlkemper at all. She has made a great recovery, and she's going to be very important.
Gonna be a
I
key
feel
asset for Wave.
for San Diego Wave, especially coming up because she didn't get that much play time. You'll probably see her coming up against Gotham in the Challenge Cup, which we will definitely talk about a little bit.
Yeah, but no, I agree. Definitely, Alex Morgan definitely had an impact in this team, whether it was locker room, whether it was just talking. She spoke very highly of the youngsters when we went up to LA. And she proved herself to still kind of like, I think it was a reality check that she didn't first get called up to the Gold Cup squad. And then after that injury, she gets called up. And I think she kind of took it a little more serious, said, okay, you know what? I need to step it up in a different way. If I'm not going to be the player I used to be, I need to be in this team for other reasons. And that's to lead the future of this generation now for the U.S. Women's National Team. So I agree. Alex Morgan should be in the Olympic squad. I don't think Mia Fisher won't recover by then.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a similar roster as this one. Jaden Shaw definitely has to be there now. McGirma definitely has to be there. Abby Dahlkemper, who knows? Maybe it depends how the season starts for San Diego Wave.
Yeah. So one thing that I will say, and you highlighted here, Abraham, as we wind the Gold Cup down, and it was a really amazing tournament. I really enjoyed it thoroughly. I think that it's going to be improving as the years go by, just in general. But overall, it was a great experience. But something you highlighted, Abe, in your latest article on San Diego Punto Futbol is San Diego Stars as U.S. Women's National Team first W Gold Cup win, and I have to agree with you. Yeah, you know what? It was a torrential downpour. Mistakes were made for the semifinal U.S. Canada, and that's a darker spot on San Diego State and just the way that that's designed and the clear shortcuts that the university took in order to construct this multi-purpose stadium, multi-purpose venue. But those are going to be questions for later. These are going to be questions for San Diego FC. These are going to be questions for Wave. How often is it going to rain? It's not going to rain that often in San Diego in that manner. So why would you put so much effort into that? There is that sort of mentality, but overall, I have to agree that San Diego just really, truly came out. The number for the attendance for the final officially, because the semifinal had a combined, I believe, announced of over 15,000 for the.
It was 31,528, I think.
I think
That's a big
20, yeah, 23. But
23.
it was
That's a big
you felt it though. That first goal, like I was telling Chief, that was for me, I think top 3 loudest moments I can remember in Snapdragon since games we've gone to. It was loud. It was wild. Fans were hyped. Sunday was a beautiful day. There was nothing stopping the fans from having that good time that day. That was a great game. A 1-0 score, you think, oh, it might be a little boring, but no, both teams were pressing. It was fun to watch, entertaining soccer, and I'm glad that San Diego kind of like what's the word? I don't know, but they reshaped the narrative as far as I'm concerned. Of it's not just a rainy puddle stadium anymore. It is kind of a beautiful venue for soccer.
It was a beautiful Sunday. The hour changed, so it wasn't gonna get dark by halftime. It got dark towards the end of the game. So overall, it was really nice. And I mean, the U.S. winning it was really the cherry on the top. The celebrations, the trophy, the players kind of like knowing they can make a comeback and put a name for the U.S. women's national team. It was definitely a great experience. There was one question that they asked the Brazilian coach, being in the CONMEBOL, and do you think this can kind of push like the success of the tournament to CONMEBOL doing a women's Copa America and inviting some CONCACAF teams? So, I didn't understand a single word he said, but he did answer this question.
He said, no, I wasn't surprised. And I myself am a coach who changes my team. This is talking about the decision about Jaden Shaw. But you didn't understand anything. Just kind of skipping into that question. But
I was
yes.
I was listening to the translation for
oh yeah
questions.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
There you go.
So he with the Jaden Shaw question, he said that like he did think that it was probably like a good decision, and that sometimes you do leave your best players off because it's a better decision to use them as a sub and provide offensive attack in the second half. Because I mean, when she did come on in the 60th minute, 65th, I think, she was a threat. She was making moves at the front. So, and was a problem for Brazil that they had to deal with, and with more tired legs. And I think if you start the game like that, maybe she's not as dangerous as she might have been in that second half. So I think that's kind of what the coach was getting at there. And then for the Copa America question, Tamara Griffin was the one that asked that question, but he did say that like he's played in different tournaments with Corinthians and stuff, and he does think that CONMEBOL is growing and that these tournaments are kind of good to help show the growth of the women's game. But I think that Corinthians, he's not worried about how U.S. people view Brazil or CONMEBOL teams, because I mean they know how good they are. Corinthians is probably the best women's soccer team in the Americas. Like, as far as like player per capita, they are basically the Brazilian national team. And if they were to play a team in the U.S., they'd probably destroy them. I think any NWSL team they would destroy.
I want that. I want to see that. I don't want to see some closed door result of Cholos versus
What do you
San
want,
Diego
a women's Conca Champions?
A Conca Champions.
That'd be sick.
A women's Conca Champions.
That would
San
be
Diego Wave
dope.
going
Liga MX teams, NWSL teams,
Tigres,
CONMEBOL teams,
Monterrey versus Portland, like Gotham going down to Corinthians.
That would be freaking dope.
During the Olympics, there is a international club soccer tournament, as the NWSL would put it. They haven't announced any details. It's the new Challenge Cup, I'm guessing. I have no idea how it works. No one knows how it works yet. They haven't announced anything. We don't know where it's going to be broadcasted even, which NWSL problem. Just show your schedule at the beginning. Get people excited about it. It's not that hard, in my opinion. But
Casey's Tony's going to hate this.
Oh, well, I don't think so, because she kind of would enjoy the Challenge Cup when it was giving opportunities to younger players, and none of the national team players are going to be there during the Olympics. So it'll be fun to play against other. I mean, if they have to travel outside the country, she will probably complain about it. But
well, you can ask her and the coach for Gotham and the NWSL commissioner coming up on some availability. I know this is on the fly, but if you can make it, that'd be great. Abe, we got the email.
I'm gonna be tomorrow talking to Savannah McCaskill at the
training
grounds. Yeah, so if you have any questions, shoot them my way at Abe.
That means people in the chat too. If you have any questions for McCaskill, go ahead and throw those in. You guys know how to contact everybody here on San Diego Punto Futbol. Just look up San Diego Punto Futbol on all things. And look, a little banner. Abe, thank you once again for joining the team. This has been an incredible asset to have you. You are an absolute weapon.
Check out his articles on San Diego Punto Futbol. They are amazing. Check them out. Anything that has to do with San Diego football, Abe's got you covered in San Diego Punto Futbol.
A great write-up here. And just you've been on fire, man. And this is something that I really, really thoroughly enjoy. And people who are maybe a little bit more on the reading side and like that. And there's a lot of great information, breakdowns.
There's people taking notes out there.
100%.
I'm sure Ziggles is looking at this like, who's this Abe guy?
Yeah, Ziggles for the UT. Imagine if we propel Abe to be chief editor of soccer at the Union Tribune.
Ooh.
That's not a thing. I would not take that job. I would not take that job.
Oh, you are
You're on the road, man.
you are contributor in command. Contributor in command for Santiago.Football. Abe, thank you again. You're gonna hang out as the phantom producer in a way, because we are going to go ahead and move into our next segments here. The championship game was the first time I could see Snap a good soccer venue, but if it was missing something, an insane supporter section. And yeah, and you'll see that when the Wave start their season coming up. They're not going to start at home, but we're going to go ahead and talk with the Sirens here. Abe, thank you for joining us. I'm going to remove you. Bye. All right, you can say bye. There he is.
Go
cool.
Wave, go Wave, go Wave, go
Wave. You're jumping.
No,
the gun,
I like it.
I know.
Cool.
I like it too, but like it's a whole
No te
setup.
molesta, vato. Tranquilo, viejo.
Yeah, no, tranquilo,
viejo. Tranquilo.
Oye, tranquilo.
Drake and Josh was a great show.
Drake and Josh was actually filmed supposedly in San Diego. It wasn't filmed; it was set in San Diego.
Yeah, it was.
Didn't appeal to me in any way because I didn't have cable.
Oh, yikes.
All right, so moving on to our next segment, as we're going to move into a little bit more of San Diego Wave discussions, because that's going to be coming up. We do have a segment that everybody seems to love, and I love it. You love it, and we're thoroughly enjoying it. It is the Call of the Sirens segment as I play the thing. And with that, we're going to go ahead and welcome our guests. You can find them in the Cove this upcoming season, and we're going to go ahead and have them introduce themselves, say hi to the wonderful people of San Diego.Football. Everybody who's watching, thank you. 134 people who are currently watching concurrently on 3 different platforms, on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Instagram. We're going to go ahead and say hi to our guests. Hello.
Hi, ¿cómo están?
Bien, aquí nomás.
Muy bien.
I already love the start. We're starting in.
Heck yeah.
In the mother
First Call of the Sirens in Spanish?
Oh, I don't know if I could do the full thing in Spanish, but let's do it. I'm here for the chisme.
¿Qué es la llamada de las sirenas, no? Los sirenos?
Sirens? Well, no, sirenas. Oh, yeah.
Well, welcome, Tanya.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome on the show. Thank you for joining us. You know, we have this revolving door of different Sirens members and people in leadership. Can you just kind of go into what your position is within the Sirens currently, and how you've been helping out here moving into the season?
Well, my name is Tanya Benitez. I'm the marketing and social media coordinator. I'm a drummer in the Cove and one of the new co-hosts for the new the Siren Song podcast.
So that is going to be coming on down, and I'm really excited. I was kind of given an insight that, hey, this might be happening, nudge, nudge. So with that, I will go ahead and extend the invitation. Anything that we can help and support with, let us know. And that's going to be something that's going to be really, really cool coming on up. So day to day, you know, what's kind of the job description in a way? Because again, these are all volunteer position. It's not necessarily you know, bankrolling money into it. The IRS will not be coming after anybody in a supporter group anytime soon. But kind of with the day to days, how are you preparing for this upcoming season with yourself and within the Sirens?
Well, I think Troy was on, you know, preparing for the season. A great tifo is coming for the season opener. We just rolled out like the excitement for Blazer Night. And I think that's going to be something that people loved last year. So we're trying to just, you know, keep it going. And then as far as me, I'm just on the socials, you know, trying to share constant media, photos, trying to get everyone hyped for the season. We did like a little, busted out my camera and we did a photo shoot. And so we're going to just be posting cool photos from that. And we did a little bit earlier, like a month or so, but we're going to just keep doing it to try to keep hyping everyone up.
And it was incredibly hyped. Chiva, I know you stumbled across this on the social medias. It was incredibly cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely for Torbe, just seeing her coming back to San Diego. I mean, I don't think she was expecting it for sure. And, like it's always nice when you're going to have supporters just meeting you at the airport. What was like you were there, right, Tanya? What was that like?
Yeah, I was there for both of them. I was there for Caitlin and Hannah. Um, it was really fun. It was a really cool experience that the Wave asked us if we wanted to be involved, and we said heck yes. Like even if she's landing at 1 a.m., like we're down. And so Weston told us about it. Everyone was good to go, and we arranged everything. And then what was funny about it was, so the person that was gonna pick her up, the Wave person, she got a text from Caitlin, and she was like, okay, she just texted me that she just landed. So I'm thinking like, okay, cool. We've got like 20 minutes, she has to get off the airplane, walk all the way here, whatever. And then next thing you know, Sean is looking up the escalators, and she's coming down, and he smiles at her, waves, and then he's like, guys, I think that's Caitlin. And so everyone's just like quickly got into place. And we cheered for her a little bit, try to be mindful that, she's coming off of a really long flight. But it was really fun. She stuck around and talked to us for a little bit, asked us questions. We just expressed, we're so excited to have you here. And the team's finally together. We're so excited for it.
Yeah, and that's something that I actually spoke with Carusa over at training. It's just like, how is it like having that hometown, at least for her, crowd? It's just that crowd that's supporting it. And she even says like it's incredibly insane that, everybody knows her name, everybody knows who she is. And it seems like that's the same situation with a lot of these players where they're taken aback by the support it's really personalized. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really kind of taking the Sirens into a different level. I mean, the Siren scarf is now hanging in the Soccer Hall of Fame, and it's for good reason. And it's something that's part of the community, and honestly, something that hopefully will keep growing. And the team, that's the thing, the team recognizes the Sirens, and the Sirens obviously support con todo corazón, but it's really cool to see the team give that love back and really highlight what you got. Shout out Weston. We always shout out.
We love Weston.
Hey, you know what?
We love you, Weston.
We're Weston fans.
My girl calls him. What? Hey, ¿dónde está pinche greñas?
Greñas. I love
it. Shout out Weston. But no, that's awesome. And so now season's going to be starting up, coming up soon. Any events coming up for the Wave for this? And I heard there's a watch party coming up for Friday's Gotham versus San Diego Wave Challenge Cup match.
Yeah, watch party at Novo, the new Novo that they opened up in Mission Valley. I haven't been there, but I've heard good things from it already. So we're gonna start the season there. Watch party. I really wish that the Challenge Cup was happening here. I know a lot of people were against it, but I thought it would have been fun. Have the first Challenge Cup here, hand Gotham a big ol' L. That would have been dope.
No,
that would have been sick.
That would have been cool. But again, I think when San Diego wins the championship, then the roles will be reversed. And then they'll get their opportunity there.
I heard good things about that Novo as well in Mission Valley. I think there's the FC stores right there next to it. I know they're trying to make it like the central watch party place for games, whether it's Wave, whether it's SDFC in the future. But I'm excited to see what the turnout is. I'm excited for that match as well. But you also do a bit of drumming for the Sirens.
Yeah.
What kind of drumming? How is that going? Like, we love to hear stories about how everyone gets involved in what they do.
The drumming was just kind of like an accidental thing. I just happened to be on Discord, and people were like, hey, we kind of need drummers. We don't know if we're going to have enough for this match. And so I just said, sure, let me sign up. I was like, I don't know how to drum, but I know I can keep a beat. I'll follow you. You guys started off, I'll follow, and the rest has been history. I've been there for all of last season. I had field club seats, and I never once sat in my field club seat. I was just always in the cove. And it's just been super fun. We've been doing some drum practices. We have one coming up this weekend too, just to prepare for the season. And it's just so fun trying to come up with new chants and kind of get everyone's different perspectives on what worked for them last season, or how we can get the crowd more involved. And it's just been fun. It's been really cool.
So did you make any of these Gold Cup matches?
Oh, I was at like
all of them.
I tried to be at all of them, but I did miss one of the double headers in LA, and I missed the double header that they had here during the jersey launch party. But I was at a good amount of them. I was a big U.S. Mexico supporter, so it was just a lot of fun. I'm so happy that they had it here because it was an incredible experience.
So I want to ask you, how'd you like the jerseys, home and away? Del Sol, the Poderosa jersey. How'd you like what they're called? How do you like what they look?
I was kind of like, I think we were talking about it on Discord, and I made like a little mock-up of like what I thought the design was like. I was like, this looks like the sunset on our crest.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tony was in there, and he threw in the little ojito signs, and I was like, yeah, I got it right. Like, this is it. I love them. I love them.
They're really cool.
Mm-hmm. They're really dope. I'm not much of a pink girl, so I don't know if I'll get it. But the blue training kit is so dope in person. It looks so nice.
And it's a little cheaper.
Yeah. That too. But I do have a Del Sol hanging in my closet right now, but I have to wait on the blue one because they ran out of sizes. The jersey launch was so popular that day that they ran out of sizes.
It was good. Yeah, I went out there, took my girlfriend out. She's never been really go to events like that either when it comes to soccer, but she enjoyed it as well. And I mean, it was cool being able to see the players, taking pictures of the players. It took us almost an hour to get in. So
part of it,
that's how you know it was popping, right? Like there was a line to get in. So
yeah.
Perfect. At this point, is there anything else with the Sirens that is coming up that people need to pay attention to, that people need to have an eye out? I know it's always making sure that we're pumping the fact that you can become a member. You don't have to necessarily pay anything to become a member, but there is extra goodies if you do. Here on the Sirens website, it tells you about it. You go to the membership area, the Epic membership. San Diego Punto Football is a proud contributor. But yeah, you can get some cool goodies there. Anything else on any front for the Sirens? Yes.
If you do go to the watch party on Friday, we are going to have scarves and like the packs, like the sticker packs, just ready to go. So if you buy your membership there and you want to skip the shipping fees, you'll get your stuff right then and there. And that was really popular for us this past weekend. We saw a lot of scarves. So that was really cool. So we'll have some more. Watch party is going to be so watch party is happening. Watch out for Blazer Night. Trying to get that whole stadium looking fresh and clean for Casey. And yeah, it's just going to be a bunch of fun this season. I think it's just going to be so cool.
I will join in Blazer Night. I've never dressed up in these 4 years of covering the sport. You know, for me, it's Hawaiian shirts, big Mexican Hawaiian shirts. Like it pops up. But I'll join in on that night. People are going to look at me, and I hope Casey is also like, "What are you doing in a blazer? Where's the Hawaiian shirt?" But yeah, that'll be fun. Check out everything that the Sirens have going on their socials. That's at SD_Sirens on Twitter. You can look up Sirens on Instagram. You can look up Sirens on the website. Join. Anything else, Shiva?
I mean, I can't wait for that watch party, and I mean, I think we're all very excited just for the season start and seeing San Diego wave back at Snapdragon. Predictions
for Friday? Before I let you go, Tanya?
Clean sheet for Kalen, 3-0. Wave.
I like that you started with the clean sheet. I love that.
gotta gotta give her props, man. She's amazing in goal.
Absolutely. And Tanya, thank you for being part of such an amazing group. And we're going to go ahead and hopefully see the Cove rocking and honestly keep calling it home. They're showing everybody what's possible in that section before any other team. So congratulations. And look forward to all of that. Tanya, thank you for joining us. And
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
100%. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
Perfect. Hello. Season's greetings.
Wave, go wave, go wave. Go
You want it
wave.
again?
Yeah.
You want it again?
Yep.
That was the call of the Sirens. Thank you for Tanya for joining in. I know that the Sirens are having a lot of stuff getting planned in the background. You heard it here. They're going to start a new show. So that's going to be exciting on that front. So thank you for the Sirens, who are big supporters of San Diego Punto Football and Two Balls at a Mic in general. So love that.
I mean, let's just dive in on a prediction, right? Do you think Wave is going to beat Gotham?
Does it matter?
It starts out with silverware. Does the community shield in England matters when you win it?
But it doesn't when you don't.
100%.
So, I mean, does it matter? Because I could tell you that same thing, right? I could tell you that the NWSL championship matters when you don't win it, right? And when you win it. So it's on both ends. It's not a.
I think it matters. I think it sets the tone for sure. And it's going to be interesting to see what Gotham has, especially just picking up Emily Sonnet and Rose Lavelle into the lineup. So
es un equipazo.
I mean, if you can't beat them, join them, right? So
ooh,
they had their Kevin Durant moment.
Yes. I was like, who's Kevin Durant? Like, it took me a quick second.
Oh,
and I thought Kevin Garnett from the Timberwolves. I was like, all right.
Okay, you said Timberwolves, not Celtics?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. KG, legendary Timberwolves basketball. Que tenemos aquí? Hola. So yeah, so this is going to be thank you, Abe. In the comments, we're going to go ahead and share this really quickly. Challenge Cup, NWSL prize money, $3,500 per player on the winning team, $2,200 per player for the losing team, $2,000 bonus for the game MVP. Gotham 2023 champs versus Wave 2023 Shield.
Okay,
reminder,
this is dope.
This is a one-off game a la Community Shield and does not count in standings.
This is dope. You mean to tell me, okay, if we win, I get an extra $3,500? Like, that's sick. Players they're gonna try for sure.
That's chump change, though.
It doesn't matter. It's
I mean,
extra
doesn't. Yeah, no, I know, but like up it, make it prestigious.
It's up to them to have a great match so they can keep doing it next season, and it keeps building up, and it builds up a bigger audience. So I'm excited for that game. It's going to be a fun one for sure. I think San Diego Wave take it. I think they start off on the right foot. I think they end up winning this game, and they win 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of going through the lineup and just kind of thinking of who's going to be in it, right? Obviously, you have the players at the Coachella Valley Invitational. You had Elise Bennett, who's doing great. You still have important players in the midfield. The midfield is a little bit anemic in terms of just like base positioning. First position wise, you got Emily Van Egmond, Calaprico, and McCaskill. Sure, you have a lot of other players that can play in the midfield, but just out of pure midfield setting, that's main position. First one.
Yeah.
You got three, so you got to get kind of creative in that one. I mean, it's a very solid team.
Angie's listed as a center back too, but she can also play in that center defensive midfield.
100%.
So you have players that can adapt and play in different positions, and we've seen Casey Stoney do that time and time again. So just because they're listed in a certain place doesn't mean you're going to see them on the field the whole time in that position. So I think Casey Stoney has a lot of pieces that she can play around with and move around. So that's very fun for sure for her. And it's going to be interesting to see what she does. You lose some players that didn't want to compete, her own words, and you're getting players that are hungry to prove themselves in this league and try to get a spot in the U.S. women's national team for sure. And I'm excited for the international players that they have. We've heard great things about Maya Jones, rookie getting drafted, and I mean,
really good things, actually.
Yeah, putting Naomi Girma on skates. We need to ask her about that. We should have asked her about that. man.
I don't have time and
It
place.
wasn't the time. It wasn't
Time
the
and
time,
place. Time and place. Hey, Naomi, you're just in this
we
like
heard the
all
rookie
eyes on
broke
you.
your ankles.
Just destroy her confidence going into the championship game.
That'd be cool.
Trying to forget. So that's something that to look forward to from San Diego Punto Football. We will have media access to midfielder Savannah McCaskill on Tuesday. Also to have access to Casey Stoney throughout the week. So check that out as we drop it in our socials. Our social media has been active. You see exclusive interviews with players. You see behind the scenes looks at just the content, the tournament. And we've done a lot of things.
Follow our TikTok.
Follow the TikTok. The TikTok is here. I mean, you can go. I go ahead and do that. Let certain governments
TikTok.
Let certain governments dictate the brain worm. I don't have TikTok, as you can tell. I also, it's fine. Head coach Casey Stoney will be available, but it's going to be a very interesting match coming up. Gotham Wave. Is it going to matter in the grand scheme of things? I don't know. How much stock Casey's going to put into this? She does take the league and the regular season, the supporter shield really seriously. So silverware, make it prestigious. If it's a good game, it's a good game. And
if you ask Casey, they won the title. They won the shield, and that's the title.
I think that's a good question to ask. If we're in there. Hi, said Tony. Was that you?
No, that's you. It says Tony.
Okay, private chat leaking. Freak a leak. Cool, perfect. So San Diego Wave. Anything else with San Diego Wave? Am I forgetting? Abe, am I forgetting?
Season's about to start soon as well.
Season's about to start.
Challenge Cup first.
What I will want to share is a really cool tool that the president of the Sirens created. And I think it's public. And I think you can go ahead and ask. But it is public. But this is just a weapon of a Excel sheet.
It's pretty dope.
It's really cool. Players has the 2024 roster, previous players, the year at a glance. It has all the friendlies, the away games, the home games, the match events and schedules. Really interesting stuff coming in here. And so check that out. We can leave the link in the description of this video. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and do that on your own time. And it's a really cool resource. I know Abe just started salivating at the Excel sheets because they were very well executed. But yeah, anything else?
No, I think that.
Tally loves an Excel sheet. 100%. Like I've been meaning to share this with people, but I think now is the right time, right before, to just show what an amazing resource that is.
Yeah, it's super dope.
It's super awesome. So shout out to Tally, the president of Presidenta, presiding over the position of the Sirens. So shout out everything that they have there. And that has been the coverage of San Diego Wave, which means that we come into our next segment, which is the other team that plays at Snapdragon Stadium that hopefully won't be pontooning across in gondolas because of the weather parameters that are not permitting. That was very well said, and I stopped. The thesaurus ran out. Permitting some good soccer play. San Diego FC, the other tenants in Snapdragon Stadium. So we'll start here. We'll get some information for the Chrome Ball Tour, but we did have an interview with San Diego FC's first signing ever. It's legendary already status, being the first one ever. Everybody remembers their first, and this is one of the players that was highlighted through San Diego Loyal, and it's really interesting the fact that they made that move. Everybody was happy for the kid, the boy, the
everybody remembers the first, you said?
Huh?
Who was the Loyal first signing?
Who was it? Loyal first signing? Sal Zizzo.
Who was a Wave first signing?
Alex Morgan.
All right.
Am I wrong?
All right. I thought it was Dalcumper.
You're right. Abby Dalcumper was the first signing.
Yeah, so
I see. Okay. Well, thank you for correcting me.
Testing you.
You did test me.
We did have Duran Ferree, and it was cool. It was cool talking to him. He's been liking our social media. He's been liking our tweets.
We're going to have giveaways to Orange County matches, family 4-packs of tickets to get up there. We are partnering with Orange County FC in that way. Shout out to the USL Championship, which kicked off this weekend. We saw a lot of San Diego Loyal player action.
Mhm.
I know this is the SDFC segment, but it's still kind of bleeding into it because it is important.
Yeah.
We had just it's weird seeing some of these players in different colors, different uniforms. Talk about Camden Riley up in Roots, talking about Evan
To
Conway,
me and Elijah in El
to me in El
Paso.
Paso. We're see Koke Vegas. And we actually asked Koke Vegas. Excuse me, we asked Duran Ferree about Koke Vegas coming up. So this is going to be the segment of Duran Watch.
An early shot for Duran Ferree.
Here's a chance, and it's denied by Ferree.
How did it all start? Right? Did the team reach out to you? I mean, what was that reaction of like when they first reached out and said, "Hey, we're want to sign you on"?
Yeah, it was a rush of emotions. I was very nervous just hearing about that because it's just my dream. And they reached out to me and they wanted to meet and talk and see what my plan was. And I wanted to stay close to home, and they were able to set a plan out for me, and it all worked out pretty well.
So, like, what's that move, right? Like, you're a young guy, you had some experience, you've been over to the under 17 World Cups, but like having that under your belt, is that like a swagger thing that you just kind of throw out to your friends, like, hey guys, hey, what you guys been up to? I don't know. I just signed, for an MLS team. What was that just experience like?
Well, it was a really big confidence booster for me. Um, I think it did give me a lot of popularity from that. I don't like to really throw it out there like that. I like to be, humble about it. But yeah, it's something that gives me confidence knowing I have that behind my back. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, there's still a whole year that there's not going to be any MLS here in San Diego, but you got loaned out to Orange County, a team that you're familiar with, playing them against when you were still with San Diego Loyal. But how's it going now with the transition over to Orange County back into the USL? Are you excited for the opportunity as well?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm happy I was able to stay close to home. Um, Orange County's not too far away, so I'm very happy about that. And um, during this time, I've been able to meet all the guys, and it seems like we have a good group, and a team that could really succeed this year. So I think this is an important time just for me to grow and get experience in, so I'm ready for 2025.
And that's what it's all about, that experience factor. And it's interesting just kind of seeing you don the FC Northland kind of colors for a quick training session here and there. What was that like? Were you the guy that was like showing everybody around? Because you know your way around the Olympic Training Center, and we got some people coming in. It's like, all right, guys, restrooms are here. We're gonna go over there. That's where the rattlesnakes usually are.
That's yeah. It was a really fun experience. Honestly, it was a really high intense training group, and I'm happy I was able to do that. But yeah, that was one of the things. Rattlesnakes, you gotta be careful one of those, and they were all very uh, cautious of that. So yeah.
Shout out the brave Coach Beto.
Yeah, you're not
who was,
you're not a snake
he's
person.
not,
So.
yeah, no, he's a snake charmer.
Oh yeah,
But
for
no,
sure.
shout out to him.
So Duran, now with Orange County, are you confident in your abilities to just take on the responsibility of potentially being the starting goalkeeper for Orange County this season?
Yeah, I mean, I feel very confident with myself and my skills and my ability. I think I could push myself and push other goalkeepers to fight for the number one spot. It might take some time, a little bit of patience, but I definitely think I'll be able to do that.
So, how have you been growing on the pitch, just skills wise, right? Like, just if people know anything about the goalkeeping position, like the primes and just the physical readiness and the mentalities usually is later than the outdoor player, right? You're here very young, but what have you learned, and how have you grown with your skills? Even as far as starting with Loyal, getting those couple games here and there, going to the under 17 World Cup, now to training with a different system altogether. How have you grown as a goalkeeper, and what things are you working on?
Yeah, it's a lot of repetition to it, but I think there's a couple of things that are really important to have as a goalkeeper. and it's pretty much shot blocking is very important. Having good distribution, being able to be brave to come out for crosses. I think those are really important things, and I've been just gaining experience from other goalkeepers, asking what they do in those type of situations, and just trying to find my own way, my own style of doing those skills. So yeah.
And I mean, the season starts already this weekend. Are you ready to travel up to Sacramento? What's that mentality like? When are you guys traveling up there?
Yeah, we're gonna travel to Sacramento this weekend, and we're leaving Friday, so tomorrow. And yeah, we're pretty excited. It's the first game of the season, and it's a big one. So if we're able to get the 3 points on the road, it's gonna be a huge start to the season.
So, what is your backing like? I know that you're really close with your family. I've spoken to your pops in passing at times here and there, and that's a really nice network that you have and support. But what are other things or aspects outside of you yourself training that you think have contributed to you putting yourself in this position? Right, like you're one of the top prospects in the U.S. soccer right now at the position. So, what does it take other than dedication, other than being there on the grind, having that mentality? What are those outside factors that people don't necessarily see all the time?
For me, I think it's very important to have consistency, but at the same time, you have to have patience. You know, you could work hard all you want, but your opportunity not might come. So you have to keep going and being consistent until that time comes, and that's when you take your shot. So
And Duran, with San Diego Loyal, you're kind of used to just normally in teams you have three goalkeepers, right? But with San Diego Loyal, it was just you and Koke. Here at Orange County, it seems like it's just going to be you and Colin too. So what's that relationship like with Colin right now? Just coming in, knowing that you're not going to stay there after this season, you're going to go to MLS. What's that relationship like with him?
yeah, first meeting him, he's a great guy, very supportive in training. He's always trying to help me improve with everything that we do in training, and it's really nice to have someone like that who's genuine and trying to get you better as well. So yeah, Colin's a great guy, and I'm glad he's my teammate.
And it's going to be really exciting. Is it a little weird just in knowing that you played against Orange County? There was this rivalry. Now you're donning perhaps other colors. Does that factor into the mentality, or is that just like business is business, and this is how we're going to go?
A year ago, I would never have a clue that I'd be playing for Orange County, the rivals. But now it is what it is, and I think it was the best situation that could have happened, and just gotta keep doing my thing and doing the best I could do.
And you got a familiar face. You got Thomas Among in the team, so you got
Exactly.
people that we're old teammates as well. So it should be a good transition. But I mean, it's exciting, man. Is there anything else you want to let the old San Diego Loyal fans know too?
Yeah, well, when 2025 comes by, we're gonna be coming in strong, and you know, when you guys are there behind our back, it's just gonna keep pushing us to really push for the win and the 3 points. So just we ask that you guys are showing up, and then we'll show up as well. So yeah.
So something that's cool is that we're going to go ahead and be working with Orange County on promotions, and we're going to be giving away tickets. So you guys can go ahead and visit Duran Ferree up there. But is there speaking of old teammates, any games that you're specifically circling, that you're looking at that calendar and you're like, you know what? I need to brush up on mi español porque hola soy Coque
Coke
Vegas.
is visiting, right?
That's exactly what I was looking at right there. Rhode Island is I'm very excited. Looking forward to that game because Coque Vegas, #1 goalkeeper, and it will be a pretty good game. Or North Carolina,
Mhm.
Colin Martin and Evan Conway. Pretty excited about that game. And what else? Oakland with Camden Riley. That's a good game. Good game. So I think Rhode Island will be will be the team I'll be looking forward to playing the most. So.
I mean, when you go to El Paso, you better not let Tumi Moshaban score on you, man. If you get the start in that one, so it's gonna be a fun season for you guys, seeing old friends as well, playing against them.
Don't let them score.
Don't let them
Like
score.
Duran knows. There's the group
Hey,
chat. I imagine there's a group chat going.
I know where they go. I got that. I got it.
No, 100%. So yeah, we're going to be giving away tickets. We're going to go ahead and be supporting you here from afar, and I'd love to, just kind of catch up throughout the season. We'll make the proper communications because guess what? Right now, yes, absolutely, you are a San Diego FC player. You are the first San Diego FC player, but you're also playing for Orange County, and that's where your responsibilities will lie. So we'll keep an eye on you, Duran. So thank you for your time, man, and stick around. We'll have an extra offline question, but thank you for your time, and let's go. Like we're supporting you here in San Diego. This is what San Diego football is all about. So get at it, man.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much. It was great having to talk to you guys. So.
So that was
That's it.
Duran Ferree from SDFC. Still now on Orange County. We're going to keep an eye on him all year. We have a great relationship thanks to the USL Championship because, obviously thanks to San Diego Loyal, thanks to everything that had happened there, we were able to foster some relationships with the great folks at Orange County. And it's all a part of it. And it's really cool to really have an opportunity to see how he's going to be media trained moving forward. Just because he's super, 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 super young.
Nah, he just sits down with Tom Penn. All right, we're doing lessons.
How does Tom Penn sound like? No, it's fine.
Yeah,
I'll put the
don't
Tom
try it.
Penn in my back pocket for later use. But no, it's being part of that journey that he's embarking on is really just he doesn't.
No audio since Duran
No,
signed up.
we
Oh,
fixed it. That's why do you think I repeated the exact same thing over? You look at me like, why are you saying the same thing?
I don't know. I just read the comments.
Pues ponte activo. He was right there. Let's see. It's the U.S. men's national team games. It's been better. Maybe just a different energy between men's and women's soccer fans. Yeah, I mean, it's a different atmosphere altogether. It's going to be utilized different when STFC ends up rolling in 2025. Just to see how that's going to really develop, and it's interesting. I know, just on the back end, and I know just kind of the way that section is going now, having this be the SDFC section. Um, it's going to take a village to fill up that section. I know that the Sirens have really built it in their own way, but and the supporters of SDFC have their chance to make it their own as well. 18th Battalion and the locals, the Riptides, Chavos Fuente la Ultras, and the Dago Boys. So that's going to be a coalition that may be happening just in general, or might just be incredibly independent, and everybody's sectioned and marginalized, and they'll marginalize themselves and have just noise going in the direction. We'll see what's going to happen on that direction, but less than a year, things are starting to move. Thank you, Duran Ferree. Thank you, Orange County, for letting us do that. We're going to go ahead and check in with him as we get closer to that. So we did also play Llama SG coming in. I did see Instagram.
Llamas.
Yeah. I did see. I was gonna say. Oh no!
You did see something.
I did see something. I did see something for SDFCs. I do speak it.
Was it Voices of the Community?
No, but we can go ahead and play that. So San Diego FC dropping some Voices of the Community, a familiar face in the Voices of the Community segment that they just dropped today. Speaking of USL Championship.
I started playing soccer around the age of 4, pretty much because I wanted to be like my big brother. And so they would throw me between like whatever we had, shoes, trash cans, rocks. And so that's how I actually started playing goalkeeper, was just to like hang out with the big guys. slowly but surely, I started to get good at it. My name's Austin Guerrero, and I grew up in Chula Vista. Great save, Doc. Great save. I love it. So when I first started the coaching, I was actually still at the Loyal. I just kind of felt like I was really enjoying playing, but there was a part of me that wanted to start to like teach. Like I had all this knowledge. I had all this like stuff in my head, all these exercises, all these drills, all these like mental components that I just felt like I could really begin to, I still wanted to play, but I could start to help guide like that next generation a little bit. I think initially my dream would have been to play for SDFC. And so now my dream is to just kind of see this team and this club be successful and serve as that inspiration for the next generation. Good, well done, well done. There's a team now here playing at the highest level in the US. There's a team now here that's gonna have a sold out stadium and you can go watch. The inspiration that's gonna serve for the young soccer community is it's outrageous. You know, like the inspiration that would have gave me as a 10-year-old kid to go to this stadium behind me and see some amazing goalkeeper on this beautiful pitch in a sold out stadium. And that's going to translate into a whole newfound motivation for the entire community of soccer players in San Diego.
That's our boy, our pal, Austin Guerrero. Shout out to Austin Guerrero, former San Diego Loyal keeper, community legend. He has a really cute puppy. Follow his such. I know Esteban also gets out there and is involved. Austin is it's such a good movement. Austin has built a goalkeeper union. Love helping him out in his clinics, camps, and private sessions. No, it's really cool just kind of seeing that next step and evolution of what's here. Because obviously, like there wasn't anything, as he mentioned. Yeah. It's that next level of it. I mean, Sal Zizzo has a similar just kind of take. I wonder if now that it's open into for Austin Guerrero, I wonder if they'll ask Sal Zizzo to do one of these voices pieces. That'd be interesting.
I wonder if they'll ask you.
No,
you're a voice of the community. No. Come on, Tony.
What am I gonna say?
You're a voice of the community, Tony Sanchez.
What am I gonna say?
I don't know. You're the voice of the San Diego soccer community.
Is this because you put this background on me?
Hey.
I didn't do
Tranquilo,
that.
Vato.
I didn't do that.
It is fine. Okay, sure.
Hey, man. No, could you please remove that? I don't know how to take that off.
No, ahí te va.
Not tell you. Why did the chicken cross the road?
Why?
Para tu madre.
Oh, it's blurred.
Yeah, you can still see the mess. But no, so
this madre.
This madre. No, so that's SDFC. They're kind of, really putting in a stride. They're getting in a stride of getting out in the community and talking to different aspects of the community. Speaking of the community, with SDFC, they did reveal the new Chrome Ball Tour look. This is going to be artwork here by Brian Snyder to represent Carlsbad. Carlsbad is the next stop of the Chrome Ball Tour. This courtesy here of SDFC. It's going to be Sunday, March 24th. Sunday. At Pine Avenue Park. This event it'll have festival activations with live music performances by The Happy Return and a couple of other performers. DJ Beto, who it was funny. Did I tell you that did I talk about it on here that I ran into DJ Beto in Coronado on his bike? I think so.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
I think so. He stopped me. It was funny because like a couple days after, Esteban and Brandon were doing a video, and I don't know if it was set up, but it was in the same area. Coach DJ Beto at night was just biking through it. So that was really cool. I guess just being Coronado, you'll run into
that in Brandon's TikTok.
Yeah, you'll
puro TikTok,
puro TikTokero, homie. Yeah, so it's free admission, Park Festival. It's gonna be noon to 6 p.m. Chrome Ball will be in effect. Hopefully, it didn't get too drenched. For this soccer side, it's going to be 7v7s for open registration teams. Women 7v7s. It's going to be youth girls 2012, 2013. Youth boys 2012, 2013. merch and prizes, cash and merch prizes for these tournaments.
Pagan bien los compas.
You can click sign up. You click sign up. You can go and get transferred over to a place where you can go ahead and get that done for yourself. So Chrome Ball Tour for SDFC. Was there something else for SDFC? Was there something else? Piénsala. Is there anything else? I don't think so. We had Duran watch. We had that. Look, I need to keep an eye on this little thing here. Being called a sellout in the private chat, just because I love my city.
That's why you're a voice of the community.
What would I say?
I don't know.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
You know how I know you're a voice of the community? Because you've been on the Emo Brown podcast. Big shout out to Emo Brown.
Shout out Emo Brown. Shout out El Buen Garcia, Steve Garcia, who has another opportunity to play in the San Diego Soccer's halftime match. So it's going to get rescheduled for April 8th, Monday, April 8th.
So live episode from the arena.
Maybe we'll do that.
Oh, wow. I was kidding. Cool. No, you have to work. How is that?
I do have to work. You know what? Triple shift. It's fine.
Abraham can't be there that day. He let me know, fortunately. So
just didn't want to play across from me.
No te quiere meter gol, güey.
Doesn't want to have a chance. Yeah, no, we can do this. Yeah, I can just throw you on there. Yeah, whenever I want. To be ready, be prepared. Shout out Abraham. So that's gonna be coming on up. They had SDFC merch, stuffed animals. Oh, they have stuffed animals. That's pretty cool.
Like it's just
Unosito, little bear, probably. This is what I am with the jersey, shirt.
That's cool.
Non-Adidas.
That's cool.
We need some Adidas stuff. Just the community needs Adidas stuff.
That's true. They do actually. You're not wrong.
But yeah, so I think that SDFC is really kind of moving in a direction just in general with the community in a way that's going to start really getting traction. So we'll keep an eye out for anything else San Diego FC. So with that, it's going to bring us to our final segment of the night. It's everybody's final favorite segment so far. Not so far. It's one of our few segments that are
stuck. That actually stuck.
Yeah, so it's El Juego Bonito greats, goals, gaffes, and greats. I clicked it and it didn't show up. Goals, gaffes, and greats. All right, so easy peasy. If you have a goal that can be considered goal of the week, go ahead and send it to us. We had a couple actually sent in, and one that really stuck out was shared on our stories on Instagram. Is something that East Lake Soccer League sent us. East Lake Soccer League over in Otay Ranch, in the Otay Ranch Mall. Shout out to everything that they have going there. Also a UPSL team, UPSL, that has a chance to possibly be a participant in the Open Cup if that format sticks and stays. So yeah, we have a goal of the week here by Team Omicron. I asked for the names. I'm like, hey, what's the name of the guy? And he's like, oh, well, here's Team Omicron. So you have this really cool setup, right? So in East Lake Soccer League, there's security cameras, and you have this type of footage. And I like that you can go ahead and get your goals recorded and request them. But they also have VAR.
They use it as VAR.
They use it as VAR.
I think each team can only kind of like ask for it to be checked once. But it's freaking dope that you can actually do that.
So let's see this goal from Team Omicron. We have it here. Una chilenita. Absolute banger of a goal right there. That's a team of the week candidate right there.
No te puedes barrer.
You can't slide?
You can't slide it.
Oh, you can do overhead kicks, and that's A-okay. So Team Omicron, you have one goal of the week, along with various other goal of the week winners like Joe Benny Corona, who got his face smacked.
Lo rompió la nariz, vato.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly over in
that game was wild. It was a 3-3 tie, and there was a hat trick for Cholos, all penalties.
Yeah, I saw that, and that's still crazy. Cannot get a victory at all. It's a very interesting thing. But we also had a runner-up for goal of the week. I just realized that I threw Abraham on there. I'm so sorry, Abraham. He was there for a while. You got to be camera ready here, Abraham.
Nah, you're good, Abraham.
Another contender for goal of the week. New segment idea.
I turned the camera around.
Okay. Coque. I like that. We can have a Coque watch as well. And then when Duran watch and Coque watch meet, then it'll be the bee's knees. All right. So we had the second goal of the week because that is possible. And this is why you mentioned, Chiva, that it's going to be difficult maybe for Duran to
No
see
va a
some
jugar,
playing
vato. No va a
see
jugar
some
ya.
playing time here early on.
First game of the season.
First game of the season, the USL Championship. Orange County FC against Sacramento Republic, and you get Colin Shuttler at the end of the match at the death. 94-55, 5 minutes of extra time, last corner to end it. Send all the cavalry up, and what happens?
And here we are again. Shuttler is up in the 18. Ball driven well, headed through, and it's tied at the end of the game here. Colin Shuttler just scored.
Yeah, no, Durant's not going to get any playing time.
He's saying that I'm not Duran. Don't worry, I believe in you.
No, I think so. I think so. I mean, we didn't see the goals he got conceded. Maybe they were
at the
his
end
fault.
of the game. In Orange County levels at
Well,
2-2.
OC is participating in the Open Cup, so Duran will definitely get minutes there. What? That was cool.
Something you think you typically see on the opening game of the season.
Or ever,
But
sir.
Colin Shuttler.
Colin Shuttler getting a shout there for goal of the week. All right. Gaff of the week.
I put Snapdragon Stadium.
Snap.
I know it doesn't rain in San Diego like that all the time, but you have to have a game plan ready. The weather says, hey, it's going to rain a crap ton today. Be ready for this. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they could have done. I'm not here to provide solutions for them. I'm just here to critique.
I like how you laugh at that.
Yeah, because it's dumb that I can do that. But yeah, no, like this was just bad. On a semifinal, first time this tournament takes place, it did make cool pictures. It was fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it would have been fun to play in. Frustrated, but fun to play in. But to me, that's the gaff of the week. I don't think there's any other gaff that could top this one.
Yeah, no. What happened at Snapdragon is definitely something that's going to be studied for years forward, hopefully. And look, whose fault is it? Like, is there anybody at fault? And I think I jokingly put like, no, it's Mother Nature's fault. It really is. Like, San Diego's not supposed to get this. And welcome to climate change 2024. Like, that's just going to keep happening. More
it's
often
gonna snow
than
here
not.
next year.
Yeah, bring out the orange ball, bring out the orange MLS ball here in San Diego. But either way, like it's just it's a disappointing thing because there's so many prospects of what's happening, and there's so many events at Snapdragon. That grass is going to get beat up, and that's what happens, right? There's already so many events happening. What I know, and this is kind of just from our sources, we got sources from both teams, both from SDFC and from Wave, who were equally disgusted and disappointed with what was seen on that semifinal. That, let's just say that they weren't happy. They weren't happy because they're going to have to put their players out there. They're going to have to put their teams out there. And again, granted, it's not going to rain, 360 days out of the year. It's going to get bad here and there. Is it happenstance that it just happened to have a soccer game there? Sure. If it was a Guns N' Roses concert, would it have mattered? Probably not. November rain would have been dope when they played that and it starts raining. Great. But either way, it's just unfortunate that it was a situation. People were complaining about the shading and, this would be better if there was some sort of cover canopy. Again, let me tell you, it was raining sideways. Like, just
it was really sad.
They're sending me to Vietnam.
But yeah, no, I don't think there's anything. I mean, you're gonna have those few times, but I mean, when it does, it's gonna be laughable and it's gonna be brought up for sure.
So really quick, I will touch on this. I do believe it was Escondido. I'll get it right here. Sent me sent us, not me.
Mm-hmm.
Sent us a DM. It was Escondido Futsal, who's showcasing a local talent. And I know it's ¿cómo se llama?
Is it
Adriel Duarte. who plays for Mexico.
Escondido's own.
Escondido's own. He's been in the development for the U.S. Olympic program. I don't know how much pull, and I'm really thankful for this. And I would definitely, I will throw it up there 100%. But I don't know how much pull in these decisions I may have, because you're not the only one. There's been several emails in our inbox and DMs, and they're like, "Hey, check this kid out.
Should we just be scouts
Hey,
now?
Let's go ahead and do this. Hey, there's this." And it's like, I am honored, but I don't think I have that pull. We're definitely gonna do what we can. Sure, local kid, juega para Mexico. Why not? Like, I know Terrible SDFC Memes has a series going on where it's like potential SDFC player signings. They've kind of gone through everybody from Paul Arriola now to Huming Sun, who said, "Go Padres," the other day, because Ha-Seong Kim is going to go back to his country and bring the Padres over and play the Dodgers at 3 a.m. To open up the season. But no, it's he scored against Puebla last week. There's highlights available, and I really get a sense that he's a really good player. So that'll be something that we'll work on as we get closer, when signings actually start happening.
One of the goals right there.
Let's see. Yeah, it's one of the goals right there. 100% getting a score on. But no, it's something that we'll keep an eye on. And just like we have the segment here of the beautiful game, Juego Bonito, we're going to go ahead and have potential signing segment coming on up. So keep an eye on that. Thank you, Escondido Futsal, for the shout out for that. Sign him up. Sign him up. No, like literally, I have somebody in the DMs who's like, "Hey, mi niño juega in where was it? Argentina? No, like Puerto Rico. Like he's in MLS next."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, like could you tell somebody?" I'm like, "Who?" Like, I'll try, but they're so insular with who they already have, and I'm pretty sure
people. No,
100%.
No te hagas,
but I'm pretty sure that if he is this good and stats are really good, Adriel is probably already getting scouted. So let's not worry about that.
Next, si no llega, va a ser tu culpa.
Va a ser mi culpa. But you know what? Adriel is going to be the 17th signing for SDFC because, again, we've already revealed who the second one is potentially. So check that out on San Diego.Futbol, the first article with Duran Ferree, a little nugget at the bottom. If you're curious as who's SDFC's second signing, go check out that article with Duran Ferree, the first one. A little bit of information nugget there. Cool. Gaps.
That takes us to the great.
It's
none other than Jaden Shaw again. I think she's the first one that wins this twice.
Such an honor.
Such an honor, Jaden Shaw. She won the Best Player Award for the Gold Cup. She won the Golden Ball. She was the best player in the Women's Gold Cup this tournament, and she's 19.
Mm-hmm.
She has that record for the U.S. Women's National team: 4 starts, 4 goals.
That's
5
impressive.
goals, I think.
Yeah.
So she's scored in every single one of her starts, and and that's why I kind of questioned Twyla, like, hey, why didn't she start? And Twyla
people didn't like that answer.
People did not like that answer, and I think it's a safe answer. I disagree. I think you need to have consistency, but at the end of the day, you ended up winning the game, so you can't say anything about it. Had they lost this game, oh man, people would have been like, why don't you start your best player? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? To have the best player of the tournament only play 20-something minutes,
23 minutes, yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Whether you wanted to play more wide and you knew Brazil was gonna be attacking you and you had to survive the high pressure and you wanted to see where the ball went. Like, no, Jaden Shaw has a gift, and that gift is knowing where to be no matter who's playing and scoring a goal. So to me, that was crazy. And but yeah, so that's why I have her as a great. I don't think anyone can also argue against that, and I'm pretty sure you agree.
Yeah, definitely. Jaden Shaw is really a revelation, and it's really interesting how San Diego Wave even acquired her just on a very minimal technicality, a diamond in the rough situation where they were privy to some information and they took advantage of it and pretty much got her for free. And then now she's pretty much the greatest thing. And I mentioned this, I think I mentioned this on the Soccer's broadcast the other day, and I messed up. I'm like, that's the greatest thing since sliced butter. not sliced bread, sliced butter. Which somebody had to be the first one. Somebody had to be the first one. Yeah.
What are you gonna grab the whole butter stick and
lather
just
it
on your
like
bread?
like
No,
soap.
you have
Yeah.
to cut the butter.
Yeah,
that
somebody
makes
did that
sense.
first, right?
Yeah, but if I'm agreeing with you that makes sense, you should know there's something wrong with that. So
absolutely. So that's Jaden Shaw. She is the great of the week. If you have any nominees for great gaffes
not
or
just
goals,
yeah, not just goals. Let us know your
let us
gaffes, the
know.
greats.
100%. And we're going to go ahead and feature that here on the segment of the beautiful game, El Juego Bonito. And with that, I think it's time. Llegó la hora de la pijama. Duerme conmigo hasta mañana. One last
canción?
Huh?
¿De dónde era esa canción?
That song was what was playing at 8 p.m. in Televisa Channel 12 with Serafin, which was a novela about an animated angel, which implies it's an animated dead kid. Now that I think about it, who would go and literally fight Lucifer. The bad guy was called Lucifer.
No tenías cable, se me olvidó.
No cable here at all whatsoever.
Pobrecito.
And so that was a song that they would play. Llegó la hora de la pijama. Speaking of Mexican traditions and whatnot.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
I'm so sorry.
100%.
I didn't even bother you. I didn't even send you anything because I knew you were hurting.
Yeah, it was a very interesting week. The world found out that people care about this more than people thought. Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball and Dr. Slump and a lot of great animes, it passed away, and there were still stories to be told. It's really, really interesting just kind of how everybody reacted to it. And like you started seeing this in mainstream media. And here's just a couple of examples of how this little anime, this little manga, this little just project, this one individual influenced so many people across the world. And we were showing you before we started launching just reactions in Mexico.
30 minutes of our prep time was just watching Dragon Ball Z clips.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball clips.
Against your will. And, it's part of it. Where it's something that really unites and just like soccer, right? It really connects everybody. There's not a language barrier there because it's translated in every single language, almost like soccer as well. But no, just kind of wanted to give a little respect there for Akira Toriyama, creator of Dragon Ball. Dragon
I
Ball.
mean, dude, like I didn't grow up watching it. My mom didn't let me. Me decía que era del diablo, saying that was the devil. So I couldn't watch it. So, but I respect what has been built for 40 years and how passionate people are about it. A great show does not last. A show that's not great or amazing lasts 40 years.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's probably one of the few ones. Grey's Anatomy, maybe, but which you're also a fan of.
Speaking of Grey's Anatomy, season 20 is dropping this Thursday, so I'm going to re-sign up for Hulu. 20. Season 20, hell yeah, bro. Meredith is about to leave. The only two cast members that are original is Dr. Bailey and el otro. Oh my god. Oh my god, what's his name? Oh my god.
El otro.
Dr. Weber.
Wow, los más viejitos.
Yeah, so those are two of the only original cast. Arizona Robbins is coming back this season.
Oh, that's sick.
And so hopefully she has a better prosthetic leg this time.
Oh, they don't do like a
Jackson Avery and April are back. So J-April is back on the menu.
Wow. They have a kid already together?
Yes, they do.
Right?
Nora? No, it's some like old timey Harriet or something like that. Some old timey name. This has been your entertainment segment of San Diego Punto Football and Two Balls and a Mic. And with that, we're going to go ahead and wind this down here because we've kept people way too long. Thank you for the 196 viewers we had tonight on the podcast. You can check that number. Abraham, that is a real number. It's on the top left. It's not.
I'm pretty sure the Twitter kind of like got a little broken, but
he's like, oh, they mentioned my name. Gotta put the headphones on. Thank you to Abraham Cepeda, contributor extraordinaire for San Diego Punto Football. You can go ahead and check out his articles. I will show him because he's gonna throw up the sign. Hey, what's up, fool? Oh, there it is, fool. That's what's up. Thank you for everybody who's joined us. Thank you to Tanya for the Call of the Sirens today. Thank you to Duran Ferree. Thank you to everybody who's come along, supported us. Yeah, I said we're tired because there's been soccer, but guess what? The San Diego Wave season's about to start. We cannot get tired right now. It's barely beginning. This is San Diego's premium #1 soccer outlet, hands down, and I will put that against anybody right now. And until said otherwise, we are definitely going to keep that position in podium. For Tony Sanchez, Alejandro Villaseñor, Abe Cepeda, Martín. 2 balls and a mic. Check everything out.
Órale. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great night.
Bye, guys. Thank you, Chris. You guys are the best.